Today I'm here to do something that absolutely no one have done before. I don't know why no one has decided to go take up this challenge. I don't know if it's because they're too scared, if no one really cares, or if just no one just have thought about it at all. But that is to do something extremely risky, and that is to find the absolute bottom of the barrel, the worst manga ever made. There's a lot of videos of people finding the worst anime ever made, and there's just way more videos of people finding like the worst TV show or worst movie, and especially the worst video game ever made. Most people has basically sacrificed everything to become a professional dumpster diver and to basically see what is the most bottom of the barrel. What is the worst thing that you can basically play or watch, especially anime. A lot of people will go to a website like My Anime List, basically read all the way down to the bottom, stuff that somehow gets a 1-star review or 2 stars, something that you basically never see. Because as much as people like to say that, oh, I don't listen to reviews or I don't listen to this, if you see something get like an extremely bad review, you do question why. Why is this review so badly? What's so wrong about it that caused a lot of people to be this pissed off that they consider for them to do this? Because a lot of people don't really like bad reviews. Usually someone who writes a terrible one is usually over something extremely petty, like they go and read a book and they don't like one thing, like, oh, I don't like how the main character's shirt is like red. He would have looked better wearing a blue shirt. Or if it's a movie, it would just be over the most like mediocre or minuscule thing of all time, like, oh, I don't think this movie does this good, so it completely deserves to devalue it and give it a 1 star. But when you see a lot of people giving it bad reviews, then you start thinking, if you go on Steam and it's overwhelmingly negative, or the critic scores is like comically low, you get thinking to yourself, they have to be doing something wrong to get a collective amount of people to agree. Especially if you're on a website that's basically 100% based off like audience score, it makes you double down and thinks, okay, what is going on? What is this media doing? Why is this so bad? But I think we all know collectively what the most worst anime is, as there are tons of like special bad animes. Like there's so much slice of life animes that are released that are absolutely terrible. A lot of isekais that are released are absolutely bad. And we all know the treasure trove of terrible content, something like Crunchyroll Original, where you can watch an absolute masterpiece like X-Arm. X-Arm is now currently hold to the worst anime ever made, because I'm pretty sure X-Arm was something that you could watch on TV. I don't know why you would watch something like that on TV, because if you were, I wouldn't say gifted enough, if you were like cursed enough to catch X-Arm or to even watch it in general, I generally feel bad for you because you have lost time that you can't regain, because that's how literally terrible the show is. These absolutely terrible looking 3D models kind of just flaring around against each other, and I'm not here to talk about that because there's tons of other people who talked about it. I'm here to talk about manga, because although there's a lot of terrible anime that release daily, I think something that a lot of people don't realize is how rare it is for anime to basically be made in general, because most animes, unless it's like original, usually comes from a manga, and that manga will get adapted and then animated. So for anime to be made, that anime was basically in the top 1% of mangas. Even if it's extremely bad or you think it's terrible, that manga has basically won against everyone else. It has basically been the number 1% of the best or the number 1% of the mediocre. Wherever you speak it, if something gets picked up and get turned into an anime, someone have seen something inside of it and pushed it forward. Even if it's a story about someone who's been turned into a vending machine, I still don't know how stuff like that are literally made, but they have seen something from it. I think one thing that most people don't realize is that most mangas that release are not good, because usually when people talk or read stories, most people are never really reading something bad. Most people are only enjoying the 1%. And most people are usually reading the mangas that are extremely good, that is recommended for a lot of people, or in something absolutely big and huge like Shonen Jump. Most people aren't risking the time to actually go around and swim through the sea of just mediocre to find some extremely bad stuff. And my journey of finding the worst manga had to begin. And I have been searching for extremely long time, because every time when I think I have found the worst one, like I collectively could sit down and go like, yep, this is the worst one ever made, a new challenger will come to approach and absolutely beat it, and then this will be the worst one ever made, and then that cycle has basically been continuing for years. I think I find the worst one, and then I somehow find something even worse, because when it comes to manga, there is always something even worse. If you have read something and you have generally think that it cannot get worse from this, and this is generally the worst thing your eyes can physically watch, you are comically wrong. There will always be something that always blow your expectations and be shocked. How has this even been published? How have someone looked at this, read through it, review it, looked at the author and said, yes, this is a good idea and this absolutely deserves to be published and everyone deserves to read this. Now, I have found a couple of contestants and some things that have basically stayed in my memory for a long time for being extremely bad. Now, I do have one rule when it comes to this search, and that it has to be something that like you can buy, something that you can go no in-store pickup and bought, not no like web series. Because if I add web series in, it will just make it way too hard for me to actually find one bad one, and I'll be here for an extremely long time. Because that one rule that I said alone, it's still going to be extremely difficult to find one. This has been a journey that I've been going on for a long time, and I have not been succeeding at all. This is kind of the main reason why I just wanted to talk about this, to maybe get like more hands, maybe to get like more people searching, and just asking people if you have find any like comically bad mangas that I can go read, because I've been searching for a long time, and I don't think I'm ever going to be able to find this. I think this is going to be something that I'm going to be doing until like the end of time. Anyway, this is just something that I want to talk about. My name is Lua. You have a good day or night. See ya.